Do it.
All right, TikTok. I don't think you guys could hear me earlier, so we're back
Yuck yuck.
talking deconstructing Christianity. Got Herman here, and I got Artie Bacon. Got Herman on the Discord, and Artie possibly on TikTok here soon, but also on the
I'm
Discord
getting there.
eventually.
I'm too old for the tac tac.
The tac, back,
Tactic.
ticky
I don't know.
tocky.
That's just a word.
TikTok. TikTok is time. Time to subscribe to Deconstruction Cam.
Yeah.
It don't make sense now.
So
Yeah.
posits time exist. Posits Cam exist. Cam is time. Whoa.
Time
What's
is
your
Cam.
metaphysical justification for that?
It's presupposed.
When you say presuppose, what do you mean by presuppose?
Well,
Why aren't you
I
cleaning
don't
your
know. You talk to
room?
Miss Piggy over here. You talk to Miss
Clean your
Piggy.
room.
I'm gonna.
Pet your lobster and clean your room.
has anyone seen the Kermit on TikTok?
Uh,
Don't. I just don't. You see it pop up on your phone at any point, you won't have to worry about this, Herman, unless you see it on YouTube somehow, like through their shorts. But just don't. Just run away.
It's a very schmestuous business model of like TikTok going to YouTube and YouTube going to TikTok and reposting, making fake accounts. It's crazy.
It's pretty wild. The reposting world is nuts.
It kind of feels like the AI slop problem, right? Where you just get this content death where the AI is feeding on itself and just starts hallucinating all kinds of crazy nonsense.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
Won't it
exactly.
become a point where like everything is so homogenized that we can't create anything new? Like the AI won't produce anything like unique because everyone's so homogenized in their ideas.
That's my
That's the
concern with this whole like Grammarly and Outlook stuff of like we're trying to offset people's lack of proper education and communication skills with technology, but that just foments more dependency on the technology. Like all the stuff where like, hey kids, all you Gen Z and Gen Alphas, you get Grammarly for free, but as soon as they get out of high school, they're going to turn on the subscription and like they're not going to know how to write on their own. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's my
exactly. Unless they learn from it, unless they actually are like detailing what their mistakes are, then it's just going to be practically a
we're not doing
mask.
that from a pedagogy perspective either. I mean, we're not even dealing with the behavioral issues. My neighbor teaches elementary school kids, and they're like wild animals half the time.
Oh, dang it. I was
Yeah,
gonna ask.
the use of like TikTok or just the mobile devices to like quell your child's emotions and activity, like active behavior at least. It's not good.
I have a lot of
It's not
conspiracy.
good.
Good.
I won't get into it.
No. Well, I want to hear about it later. We can talk about conspiratorial thingies or smishmarial. Fuck.
It
Maybe
just feels
not.
like more capitalism to me. It's another way to exploit people. The whole before AI even became a thing, when CGI was getting hot, I'm infamous in my friend groups for ranting about the digital schmaver about take a young actor, buy their likeness, and then you own them in perpetuity, and they can never get that back. It's like a one-way Faustian bargain. It's crazy.
That is crazy. I mean, the music
How is
industry is like that, right?
exactly? I
Like,
mean, the whole Taylor Swift buying her album back,
yeah.
having to negotiate that. It's crazy to me, but it's just this incredibly predatory model where like people can't even live. Like your life
Yeah,
is
it's like
literally stolen from you. It's like vampires. Capitalism is vampires.
you own
Time is
none of
money.
your
They take
work.
your time. They take your money. They take your life. Vampirism.
Take your money.
I took that now.
Yeah, to reiterate what we were talking
I
about
feel
earlier, the black and white thinking, I think, feeds into that as well. It's like, it's profit over people. It's, focused on outcomes. And so those ends justify whatever means, right? And I think it all ties back to this sort of incredibly linear cause and effect relationship where, like, hey, we're going to dump a bunch of trash over here. Hey, so, like, what about all the fish that swim in that trash? We have to eat those fish later. That's not my problem. I didn't do that. Oh, okay. But, like, you did.
Sure.
I'm gonna add somebody to this call. Y'all cool with that?
It was Paulo Jail Scream.
Oh,
Are you
bro.
bringing a special guest in?
If it was Paula G,
That'd
shit,
be wild.
shit.
It'd be an actual miracle. And I would convert immediately.
Wait.
Sweet
I'd be
baby Jesus.
apologetic.
Hello,
Hello.
Vic. Hello.
Hey,
Hey, Vic.
how goes?
Better now that you're here.
Better now that
That
you're
is
here,
true.
Vic. So
It's like we needed you. I think we
Aw.
needed you.
No way. I don't believe that. But
We
you're
were
kind.
psychically crying out for you into the ether.
I prayed.
too
I'm just kidding.
I was busy
And
putting
I
Artie-
arrived. I answered your prayer.
Wow.
Do you want to join this
Still don't
this
believe.
pseudo bro train of thought that's, almost completely unfounded?
it's a good train of thought.
I mean, but it's also anecdote, right? Like, I'm not bringing any actual research to the table, just sort of lodging my way through it from a rational perspective.
Sometimes that's good to do. I mean, and we're live, just to let you know, Vic, on Tiki Talkie.
I figured. Yeah, that's what it sounded like. Thank you so much for joining having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. Why not?
How often do you go live, Vic?
I usually do it weekly. I was gonna go live this evening, but I woke up with a flu.
Oh,
I had a really
no.
bad headache, so I knew I wasn't gonna be able to be like in host mode. Although I've recovered quite quickly, I'd say, but yeah. So I just didn't want to be responsible for having to carry a live while I'm trying to figure out which way is up and down.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Oh, damn. I'm sorry you're not feeling well.
It's all right. It happens every now and then. So, but good thing is I'm recovering quickly, and I'll probably reschedule. So, it was supposed to be tonight. Actually, just about 40 minutes ago. But I think I'll do same time tomorrow. I'll reschedule it for tomorrow. So you guys are welcome to come if you're free at that time.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I always.
It's at 9 p.m. Central.
That means about 10 p.m. Eastern, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will.
Where do you typically stream to? Is it YouTube, TikTok?
Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, and TikTok doesn't like computers, so I'd have to do a whole setup for it. So I just do YouTube.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. I think I follow you. Do I?
I'd be shocked if you do on TikTok because I never go on there. I just
Oh,
don't-
I'm also brand new to TikTok. I have caved. I am subscribed to you. Nice.
Oh, you are.
I think it's the right one.
It's,
Is it a little bit big?
That's it. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Nice.
If you're going to be in a cult, being a follower is better because you have more fun. Being a leader, you make more money. But a follower, you have way more fun.
I do have
All
fun.
right. Well, let me try and add, because TikTok's been a little weird when I try and follow people. Sometimes it doesn't show. I Yeah, it does have Cam still following him. I've been trying to follow others, and then it unfollows me.
That's weird. TikTok's
What
weird.
are
I
it
mean,
is
we're in a good way, TikTok. Yeah.
Vic's following
You're
Ken
listening.
Man, is that what I heard?
Yeah, we follow each
uh
other.
yeah. Is there what are your TikToks, and I'll follow you, so at least you'll get a little extra number from a nobody.
That's nice. I think I'm just Artie Bacon on TikTok. Yeah.
Artie
No
Bacon,
caps. No space.
no space.
Yes.
I just had it, and then it went away.
Mimi's here.
They are?
Yeah, Mimi joined.
Can I see anything?
Maybe I gotta scroll
any-
down.
Okay.
Is there anybody else on TikTok that I should follow? Do you?
I like
Fern, or
I can't TikTok for religious reasons.
I like a lot of the creators, but my favorites on TikTok specifically are like El Oso Ray, Thinker. Let me think. I'm trying to think of some other like really good deconstruction ones. I mean, there's Deconstruction Zone obviously, but he's everywhere.
right. I have them on YouTube, so that's really.
Mezzo is only on TikTok really, like his actual like,
Oh
account.
yeah, I found
there's
his
Ian.
YouTube.
Oh,
And
Ian
I
and
was
Dr. Blitz.
So,
Actually, Ian?
yeah.
Or allegedly?
I would follow both at this point because you never know which one he's gonna have to resort to.
That
But
should
his
be the backup channel. Should be actually.
actually Ian, yeah, well, he did make
Potentially
he had to use a backup.
Observantly, Ian.
Yeah, Dr. Blitz is a really good one. He's awesome. I would
I
love
got
to.
him on YouTube.
I
Yeah.
love science
Nice.
communicators. Blitz, Forrest Valkai, who I don't know about the beard.
Oh,
Beard's weird right now.
He
I
did
say
that
that
I think he's, I
already.
think he's rocking it. I think he's rocking it.
I don't know. As someone who also has a weird face shape, like I don't know.
We'll see. Maybe once he
sometimes-
grows it out a little bit, maybe we'll.
Oh, Mini Minute Man. He's getting some crossover stuff. Love
Oh, is
Milo. Yeah.
I
I think with
do
him going on
sympathize.
Piers Morgan, they're like wrapping him into a bunch of different things.
What about Piers Morgan?
Milo was on Piers Morgan for some like ancient alien
Oh.
stuff. And they have the new pyramid thing that was discovered. Like, it's ancient batteries. It's gonna power a city.
Uh-huh.
And so he's like, that's not how anything works.
Yeah. Poor Milo.
He's great. I love the direct confrontation, not in a mean way, but just like calling things for what they are. Right. I don't appreciate personally people who engage in the woo side of like, maybe it's this, there's no way of knowing, but like we do know though, we do, because like
We do.
people, they're
Yeah.
just things that you know that it's not Sasquatches. Like we all know that it's not millions of Sasquatches hiding in the desert in Egypt. Like we all know that. But if there's just one chance in a million, no, absolutely not.
You don't believe in the desert yeti?
Well, I mean, the desert yeti, like, what would he be, hairless? Like, how would he like thrive in that
Yes!
environment?
Oh, like a man,
No.
like one of those Egyptian cats, the Rex.
Hairless desert yeti.
You look like a rotisserie chicken.
Can we do an AI for a hairless desert yeti?
Yeah.
Hello, co-pilot.
Friends of mine got
Oh.
a pair of Kuwaiti cats. They adopted them and brought them over. And their fur does feel distinctly different from like my homegrown American dumpster cat.
I know. So I had
Very
had
smooth.
two. I had two American dumpster cats. And I had no idea. I never met the parents. I never met the litter. I just they were just given away, and so I got them. And even as like 9-week-old kittens, I was like, these are pretty big kittens. Like I could barely hold both of them. And then when they grew up, like one cat spilled out of my lap. Like he was just so big. Like, and then the other cat, I mean, both cats were long and had really big frames. But the other cat that lived the longest, he just passed away this year. He like had gotten really big, like he was turned into a basketball for a little while there. He lost
Are
a
you
lot of
sure these
weight.
were raccoons? They might have been raccoons.
They could have been. I don't know. I'll post the picture and you tell me.
If there's just one chance in a million, it's worth believing in.
Cat coons. Cat coons.
Hey, Cam, you know about the Europeans. Everyone has to be a coon in that, sir. We have to switch that up for a raccoon name for you. They're obsessed with raccoons over there.
Yes, in that server that you're in. Yeah.
I'll see if I can find a picture of this cat.
Cam Coon.
There's an introduced population of raccoons in Europe.
I don't know if that might be
Germany
not a
pre
good
World War
thing
II,
to do. Never mind, don't listen to that.
They had a fur schmarm, and then like a schmomb dropped on it during the Schwar,
Oh.
and they escaped, and now they're all over Europe.
Real quick for the live, if for those that are actually coming in here, if they want to come up and talk about the background, please do. Come on up here. Chat with us.
Is
Sorry.
it the one that says, if God created the earth, why is it so damn bad?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry to laugh at that, but yes.
Why?
Being new to
Don't
this
be
space,
sorry.
my question is just like, if his goal is for like the earth is his pride and joy, it's the one thing that his greatest creation besides people. Like, I know there's passages about being a good steward and protecting God's creation, but like, why would it suck so bad? Like, it's counter to his goals.
Yeah.
If he was all knowing, why would he have created an earth that would hurt his, again, like you said, greatest creation so badly? Dog?
I love that.
You're the man now, dog.
Well, also, I mean, like a Christian would say that it isn't counterintuitive, that it's all for a purpose, but an overthinker like me, you start to think about like the things that it's like, how could it be for God's purpose? Like children being unalived and, people getting raped. Like, doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, once you get really deep into it and like, it's like, if he's experiencing all this too on top of that, then it's like, how do you, like, I don't know. Like, how are you good? I guess in the book it says he's all things good and bad, so as it tries to reconcile that, but it's contradictive.
Well, the problem is a lot of people will try to say like he's all good and all bad. People who try to justify this don't seem to be really like they don't understand math. You can't have 100% plus 100%.
Same logic where
That's
Jesus
not how that
was
works.
all man and all God.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably just all man. If he even existed. I mean, honestly, I started to question it as I've looked more into it because there really isn't anything else. I used to think there was like stuff from Josephus and all this stuff, but there really isn't like actual solid evidence.
Well, Josephus just wrote what other people believed at the time, right? He was like, "Hey, man, there's this crazy stuff going around."
Yeah, exactly.
Even this Jesus dude.
He was just reporting what the followers were doing and what they were saying, and anything that was like added on later, like they saw evidence of it being in later manuscripts, but not earlier manuscripts.
My understanding is that he's a hardcore, not reliable narrator either, given that he's like paid by the Romans and he's hating on the Jews a little bit, but also hating on the Romans a little bit. And it's like, feels like that Always Sunny in Philadelphia meme. I'm playing both sides. That way I always come out.
Right. That's kind of the case with any ancient, like, quote, historian, unquote. Like you've always got to think about what their perspective is. Often you'll see like biographies of others, of like leaders, they'll put in accounts of like where they really hype him up. Where, like, he was so awesome, everyone loved him, and he ascended right before my eyes. Like trying to make it look, trying to deify them. But you always got to think about like what's the author's perspective, what's the context, what sort of writing style are they using? Hell, I even had to think about that. So I used to just my own textbooks here in Texas when I would read them. Like, I was a kid, so I just took them as is. But learning more about the history of Texas, I kind of realized that there was a lot of Confederacy apologetics in my textbook.
That's wild. That totally makes sense.
Yeah.
A lot of
I
the
mean-
monuments that were put up were for the civil rights movement as a response, right? So you re-romanticize the history.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were trying to make it so like, well, it wasn't really about slavery. It's like, okay, well, can you like maybe reconcile that with what the Confederacy
States'
leaders
rights to do what?
said?
Hmm.
So,
The right to have
it's-
stuff. What kind of stuff?
What kind of stuff?
It's kind of funny to think that based on how they were raised, like they're more likely, we are obviously raised in like a Christian household. Like they do the same thing as the Bible does. They get it the same concept from the Bible. Like they pick and choose pieces that they want to remember and live by. So they're gonna do it with their history too. It totally makes sense.
I think that's everybody,
and-
right? I mean, humans are
I
really
yeah.
international. Sorry, go ahead.
That is true too. Like we do like
yeah.
suppress our deepest, darkest shit, so we can just like try to live on in a way.
We all biases too, right?
There's the saying how history is written by the victors. That's always pretty true. Occasionally, you'll get some stuff from opposition, or you'll get the conquerors maybe preserving scraps of their opposition. Obviously, you can't know how reliable it is, but you can get kind of an idea of what others might have been saying.
When I try to invite you up, Vic, did it not work?
I had to step away from my computer, so I don't know. I'm actually right now getting a drink.
Oh. You're fine.
Chat still can't request up. What the hell? Hi, John.
Jen.
The Jen. The Jen. The very popular and well-liked Jen.
There's only one Jen in this world.
Yes.
That Jen.
That is true. She
And
actually
it's
is.
not Jennifer Aniston.
And
Uh-huh.
maybe just building on what we were talking about previously about the self-judgment and how that ends up in you treating other people poorly. It can go both ways too, right? I mean, when people come in, and I think I've heard a lot of these lies where you've got believers who are confused and working through a lot of feelings, right? And so there is often, I feel like, a lack of mindfulness, not because they're dumb, but because you're working from a fundamentally different framework. And so you're trying to jam this jigsaw piece in. And I think it's hard, especially, looking at like the Matt Dillahunties of the world, right? Where they've been dealing with this for decades. They've heard the same arguments. They've basically just been trauma nurses for people working through this stuff.
Mhm.
You get met with that sharp resistance, and people will turtle, right? They're going to pull back and, not make room for that new emotion and let go of that self-judgment and be able to exist in these new insights in order to try to like process them for themselves.
Mhm.
Yeah, and they start to categorize people too. Like, this
Sure.
person's an atheist, and he's yelling at me. This is maybe probably not their first interaction, but it puts a bad taste in their mouth, and they're not going to want to open up and have that conversation about their faith and learn more. It's just going to shove them deeper down that religion hole. So
Yeah.
I get where Matt
Really?
comes off because he's dealt with so much, but
I
like,
feel horrible for him
yeah,
because he's
I
clearly
kind of don't know how he
unhappy.
keeps doing it.
Well, he does his formal debate stuff now, and he's got his Patreon channel and things. I think he does better there because it's structured, and it's like a logical chess match where there's rules and there's decorum, and it's not just people screaming over each other with bad faith arguments. You know, where I think other people like to have the street brawls, and they get their dopamine hit from that conflict.
Yeah, so it does seem like, you know, people like Matt who have been doing it for a while. They're still doing it. He said he's not burned out. He says he still has fun. I think it's more how he likes working with guests. Because when he's doing it alone, I can see he's miserable. But when he's doing it with guests, he seems to be having a good time.
Yeah. I mean, Dave Warnock was a great balance, I feel like, or Don, back in the Wait XP days. And that's where having someone coming at it from a different perspective, where you can get someone who's fiery and, wants to have that hardcore engagement, and then someone who's more of a gentle perspective. I think being able to have a broader tool set makes it easier for you to connect with that person. Like if a conservative dials in with a Southern drawl and people start immediately assuming, oh, this guy must be dumb and homophobe and all this other stuff, and they're like, I'm just trying to ask questions, right? It can sour the conversation, but if you can meet people where they are, I think your probability of actually changing the hearts and minds and saying, look, we're not saying you have to pronounce God and worship Satan, but like, just think about it. What makes more sense, and just let them come to their own conclusion. Like, you lead the people to the water, right? Instead of jamming their head into the toilet bowl. Where's the money, Wazowski?
That's why asking questions is so important, and asking the right questions too. Like, people really get offended when you're almost like asking a question yet at the same time calling them something, making a judgment call on what they're doing. That's where I find the conversations go sour quickly. It's like
a lot of the religions also come from a place of judgment, right? It's not only you being judged by God, but it's also like your whole community judging everything that you do, and you having to be perfect and do everything right. So like,
true, you're always on the defense.
Yeah, it's a high cortisol environment.
Definitely. So when I was, my mother has been very religious for most of my life, and only recently, I would say, maybe in the last year or so, she has started to, question everything about her. She used to be very comfortable in just saying, it's just about faith. You just have to have faith in it, and that was her way of justifying anything.
Mantra?
And she when she started deconstructing, other shit also started to go down, and so it became a quick spiral. And when in the middle of this spiral, she would start to get a little defensive, like you're talking about, because it's such a fundamental, like, you wrap it up in your identity, and it feels like you're losing a part of your identity. Mm-hmm. And that was definitely the case for her. For me, I didn't define myself by religion, and because I was so young, it was as hard for me. The hardest part was dealing with the realization that I had been putting off grief. I think I'm sure I've said this to some of you in here. My hardest part was the realization that I had, instead of grieving for the people I lost, I had been told and believed that I would see them again. And so I still had to finish grieving, you know. That was
So
probably the big.
I don't want to
Got
interrupt,
it.
but I kind of have to, because
Go ahead.
Jen just is so amazing. Our life goal has been achieved by her. So thank you, Jen,
No
for
way.
that.
Holy
Yeah,
cow.
she always does that.
Awesome.
So we got a new live goal. Little finger hearts.
Awesome.
Don't interrupt her, she said. Okay, I'm sorry. I won't interrupt. I'm back off now.
I thought it was
You you
very
did
funny.
you.
Jen's gonna ban
No.
you from your
Oh
own live.
no!
Yeah.
I promised Jen. I just finished right when he said it, so he didn't interrupt me. He just thought he was.
There you go. See, Jen? Don't get me in trouble, because I'll be in trouble for sure.
So, Vic, you were telling us about working through some of your feelings.
Oh, yeah. No, for me it was yeah. That was the hardest part, was trying to realizing that I hadn't finished grieving. But my mother, when she would start to get defensive about it, you know, I would pull back. So I think when I had first talked with her about it, I didn't really know anything about epistemology, and I didn't know what I was doing, and so I was probably more confrontational than I meant to be. That was, I don't know, probably like 6, 7 years ago, something like that. But when I started to learn more, I just would ask questions. That was about 2 years ago. And by asking her, you know, what's the foundation of this? Why do you believe this? The only thing that you could really be defensive about was like your own answers, you know, not so much, because my goal was never to implicate anything. It was just to always ask, you know, to help someone follow the line of logic to its conclusion.
Yeah, I think even asking those questions, though, for those that are like deep in the religion, it becomes of like an attack to them. Like, why are you questioning these things? How dare you
Sure.
question these things? Like, this is my community. Like, this is my afterlife. And I think those are the two biggest things that hold people, or that religion, you know, keeps people in their grasp the most, is that those two factors. Like, I don't know. I have aunts and uncles that go to church every weekend, and I don't think they truly believe, but they love the people that go there. They love that community.
Yeah.
So, but they also vote in a very conservative way. So it does have an impact on how they view society, and that's, I think, the dangerous part that I see the most in our current society, is how it impacts politics. But I don't want to go far into that hole by any means.
Well, just if you give yourself over, right, and your default is submission to an authority, then like you follow the authority wherever that goes, right? Good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just
you probably
wanna-
know better than anyone, right, Herman?
Like, yeah. I just want to quickly cancel Vic for being a bad atheist, because I think you're supposed to aggressively ask people what their logical entailments are and yell at them. So I think you're doing it wrong.
And immediately bring
I
up
guess so.
slavery. This was
Oh,
slavery
right.
and grape. You immediately bring that up. That's like
What
the
about
first thing you do.
she-bears? Why don't we talk about the she-bears?
Yeah, talk more about the she-bears.
One thing I did bring up, because so my mother used to be a Catholic, and she was excommunicated when she got a divorce. But she moved over to Methodism, and that's what I was raised in.
I thought you were gonna say
But
what
she still like kind of kept her Catholicism with her, that I don't think she realized it, but like she kept pieces of it. And so like the whole thing with the birth of Jesus and Mother Mary and all that stuff, that I think that was still pretty fundamental to her, because Catholicism focuses so much on Mary and Jesus's origin sort of thing. So when I had shown her the different stories for between the synoptic gospels, I showed her how in, I believe it's Mark, it's been a little while since I have looked at it, but in Mark, Jesus is called, like he's told by his mother that he's crazy, and that you know that he's just like trying to be like kind of a con artist or something like that. Like no one, and it said like no one believed him from his hometown, and that his mother didn't believe him, and that his mother said, crazy, come home, that sort of thing. And so then I showed her, this is what they say in Mark, and then obviously you have the narrative that Mary was told that Jesus was the Son of God, and that the angel said all this, and in Luke, and I think Matthew says it as well, but I know it says that in Luke. And I said, these are the same gospels, that like they're supposed to be telling it from the same story, but how can Mary be like know that Jesus is the Son of God, while also saying, you're crazy, I don't believe you, come home, and I, like, when I showed her that, she was like, you're kidding, like no way. And I said, I brought up the online Bible. I said, if you have any translation that you prefer, I can do KJV, whatever you want. And I showed her the differences. And I think that was a really fundamental part, like those little contradictions, if it's not fundamental to your faith, you can brush it aside. But when it's something that's like, in her case, she fully believes the infancy narrative, the birth of Jesus, and Mary being the chosen one, and being a virgin, and all that. And so I think that one was, it was after that I saw her be like, so everything, like she specifically said, she's like, it looks like everything everyone ever told me was a lie. And that's when I started to really doubt myself if I had done something right, because she was so devastated, and I didn't want to, I didn't want to shake her up. Like I just wanted to show her that, you have to think critically about these things. You need to look at these things yourself, and determine what's true on your own. And I'm still wondering, if there was a better way I could have done it.
Thanks, Vic. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you. I think
Sorry
if
for the ramble.
your relationship had changed in a negative way after the fact, like, I guess you didn't share if it did or didn't.
Not really, no.
Yeah, I think that would have been more telling if she did like act negatively towards you because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it sounds like she may have been questioning something in the back of her mind to be able to ingest that information. I mean, we see lives all the time where people come on and they hear about the contradictions, they hear about the crazy shit that goes on in there, and it doesn't shake them at all. They have these apologists in the back of their brains that have excuses for everything. Like, I would love to know the apology for that. Like, is it that she maybe thought he was crazy and then had the messages sent to her after the fact? I mean, it's pretty crazy to think that she didn't know because of the immaculate conception idea. Like, you didn't know that you were birthing God, when you didn't you didn't have sex with Joseph to birth this child. Like,
Mm,
I don't know.
I think something
yeah.
that I used to see a lot more of, but I hear less now in the deconstruction lives is, do you care if your beliefs are true? And
Hmm.
I think, some people, there's, I'm reminded of Matt Dillahunty. He was like in the early 2010s. He was like, if my grandma was dying on her or schmying on her schmeth bed, and I went in and she asked me if I would believe and pray for her, I would say, yeah, of course, because it's the compassionate thing to do. And I think just having that human
Yeah.
centric perspective, right? You're not coming from a place of trying to like own your mom or like, just totally slam her. You're just trying to show her another perspective, right? And if she goes back into
Mm.
Plato's cave, hey, you did your piece. And I think you can be at peace with yourself, give yourself that grace.
Yeah. No, well, in fact, at some point I was like, because she started to have some other hardships at the same time, I was like,
Yeah.
you know, I would rather you have that comfort to be able to make it through these hard times than not, because her beliefs um, weren't causing outward harm. She's still voting, empathetically. She's not her religion, um, as far as I can tell, uh, has not been causing harm. She doesn't use her religion to justify um, like political decisions or you know how to treat people. Like that's
Can I have
her
your
own
mom?
thing.
My mom's the total opposite. If I could have yours, that would be great.
She's a great mom. I love her. We especially once I had moved out. I've since moved back in because of some health issues, but when I initially moved out, we got really close because um, she was like the only one I could talk to over the phone and be like upfront about. And our relationship continued like that. There have been some like rocky moments every now and then. We're very similar to each other, so sometimes we butt heads. uh, uh, but she's, she's been so supportive. I mean, she retired like from this super amazing like leadership position at a nonprofit organization where she was like, you know, um, bringing in tons of donations um, for the nonprofit, and she saw that I was um, struggling with my health, and she decided to retire a little bit earlier than she anticipated because she wanted to help me. Like that was just insane that she went that far, and I am super appreciative for her.
Your mom's got a big heart, and I like that.
Oh, huge,
Awesome.
huge heart. Yeah, she's she's always. My dad has sometimes been like, you know, she's too charitable. She loves to give back to people.
There
So
is a
I've
limit to
always,
it. Absolutely. Like, you gotta look out for yourself as well, but also,
oh, for
you
sure.
know, there's a healthy
Angry
limit
That
to it.
Atheist time says that if your mom's not selling all her possessions and following Jesus, is she really charitable at all?
she was getting close at one point.
Ugh.
She was doing a lot of tithing when we didn't really have the money.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's what's
and
worrying is that some of these churches don't take
Mhm.
that concern for people into account. It's just like the mission is what matters. You don't matter as an individual. It's the mission that matters, and that's crazy to me.
You don't have enough money for God.
I would frequently ask
Get
questions
out.
about that.
I mean, if
Like-
God can't buy 2 avocados for $10,
Those
Yeah.
thank you. I was really gambling on that one.
Well,
I bet
so-
God doesn't even know how much the
$10.
Oh,
I bet
how
God
much
doesn't
does
even
one
know how
banana
much a bat and ball cost together. I bet he doesn't even know.
Right.
Oh, please, Michael, how much could one banana cost? $10?
There's so many logical things where, like, you're talking about why does everything suck. Something that bothers me is, I'm not going to go to the Acts of Peter and biblical comic books, but like, if you think of the way we tell stories today, like Superman is a direct analog for Jesus, right? Superman doesn't infringe on people's free will. He just intervenes, right? When he hears someone crying out, he stops that from happening. So if someone's going to make a schmurder or a grape or whatever, and God allows that to happen and then intervenes before the other person can be harmed, right? There is no victim. And that's where you can have, as someone who's infinitely capable everywhere all the time. And, it's literally no effort, right? If it's a triomni God, to say, look, you're broken. This is what's wrong. Take the teachable moment. Here's how you can be better, right? And you can get the redemption that all the narratives tell us is what he's striving for. But like, it just feels like there's so many missed opportunities, and these things people aren't used as an end in and of themselves. They're used as a means to someone else's end. And that just feels super disrespectful for, an all-loving personal God who wants a relationship with everyone individually.
Mhm.
But only wants a relationship if you really like him. You gotta
Yeah.
really like him.
And if you don't, it's going to
You
hurt
like
him a
fire?
lot more than it's going to hurt you.
Well, it gets a little deeper than that, because even when I was a Christian, they have excuses for
hell?
everything.
Got
Yeah. Well, hell and
it.
the fact that like I would try to like come up with reasons and bring it up to other people. One of the reasons, it's like, why does God even love these other people? And it's like, in their eyes, yeah, he still loves them, he still has this mercy, but that mercy runs out upon death. So it's once they're not alive anymore that the bad stuff happens, and that's when the good stuff happens to the believers. But then you think about the believers that are already having all the good stuff happen here to them, and getting all the real mansions and stuff, and saying, oh, you get a mansion later on once you're not here anymore. And I don't know.
It definitely feels like the monster under the bed logic, right? Like, if you don't brush your teeth.
Yeah.
If you don't make the choice to believe,
He's gonna
That
get
was
you.
actually
When you instill
that
that
was-
logic pattern early, it's an easy button to just keep mashing. And that's why everyone's so over, like, high key, emotional and distressed all the time, is they're constantly bereft because of this trauma. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
And rant.
Oh no, no. I think that's our great point to bring up, and I'm super lucky that I wasn't like instilled with a fear of hell when I was really young, because literally I remember being 5 years old and thinking, what's up with this? Because I had heard about hell and the concept of hell it was brought up in some other cases, but I think I remember like really thinking about it after a King of the Hill episode where they were showing like that that Halloween like hell house sort of thing that Christians actually do. And I started thinking, I was like, how can this be true? It sounds so juvenile. It sounds like telling someone You better be good, or else I'm gonna punish you. And it's like it sounded so juvenile that I couldn't believe it at 5 years old.
Better not
But-
pout on you.
Exactly, right?
Yeah,
Maybe you guys
exactly.
don't have spirit eyes where you could sort of think through from that perspective on.
Huh.
No, like
I
seriously.
did.
Your spiritual eyes.
Yeah, I didn't have very good spiritual eyes. I was not a good Christian. I had been raised to be skeptical first and religious second. And the fact that every time I would ask anybody in the church a question and be met with either you just have to have faith or you don't ask questions like that. You don't question God. No one challenges God. I had one Sunday school teacher just tell me to shut up and put me in a corner.
Yeah.
Christian
So-
love, Christian love. Gotta love it.
So, which is funny because my Methodist church was, you have spiritual eye. Yeah, that was right, Jen. My church was very progressive, especially for its time. The Sunday school teacher, I don't know if she was like a convert from another denomination or what, but she was hardcore fundamentalist. And I'm not sure why she was the Sunday school teacher. She was like the total opposite of the pastors at that Methodist church that I went to. Hardcore conservative, hellfire and brimstone. Like she did not like any of my questions, and I did not like her. So I would beg to not go.
We had one like that in the Catholic school my stepdad put us into before they kicked us out. She made my brother, who's moderately autistic, level 2 autistic, he would refuse to get up and just couldn't deal with the change of having to like get to this new school, get in the uniform, all this stuff. And she had my mom bring him in his pajamas and shamed him in front of the entire school as a third grader.
Oh.
And he was never really the same in terms of academics after that.
I bet not. That's just not.
That is cruel.
That really is cruel.
Oh.
And
That is super messed up.
especially for anyone who already has barriers in trying to interact, and meld with like a social situation like that. Like you would hate having to socialize from that point on.
Yeah. But he just
That's
finished
just not
his degree at age 35, so I'm happy for him. So it's not all doom and gloom, but definitely it makes you wonder with some of these hardliners, like what happened to them, right? What trauma did they go through? And I want to empathize with them, right? I know it's easy for people to demonize them, but it almost makes me want to, without pathologizing, be like, what friggin' happened to you, man?
Right?
It's a cycle of hurt. Like,
Exactly.
no one's mean just off the rip.
Well, for the most part, I agree. 'Cause even, like, I hate to say it, but Schmittler, I think his story has like a lot of that where he was not treated very well and took it the wrong way and took it way too far back. At least if I'm remembering correctly from what I like learned in high school.
He wanted to be an artist.
Yeah.
They didn't like what he was doing, and they rejected him.
Yeah. But
We call him quarter of a mustache man.
Why hurt everybody even then? I've been rejected before.
You could
It's
call
not
him
fun.
Musk.
It's not fun, but
I
it is
honestly,
what it is.
I do see a lot of like, essentially a lot of the way that fascism works is it it relies on authority, loyalty, and like fear of authority. And so when someone who's trying to climb towards that power gets rejected, they lash out harshly. I mean, look at the fascists in America, right? Like it's it's so fragile. They're very insecure.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
no.
suppressing that opposition and driving wedges with confusion, right? Was it the author of God is not the author of confusion? I think there's a lot of people here that are.
Oh, God was really confusing to me. I never got the Trinity thing. That was my biggest question. I think that was like the first thing I asked when I was a little girl.
Is it?
Well, I can go through the list real quick. I don't think God has any of the following. God does not have any authoritarian leadership. There's no mass mobilization. There's no nationalism and xenophobia. There's no cults of tradition and myth. There's no suppression of opposition. Nope, none of this applies. So I don't know what you're talking about.
I do want to push back a little, not saying not trying to vouch for God at all. But to me, the existence of all that is created by the government. Like it's a way to oppress people. To govern over them, to be their boss and their leader. And
Oh,
make
yeah,
them
I mean,
not question anything.
for sure. Sorry,
I mean, that's what the Bible's written for, wasn't it?
That's what I yeah.
I'm glad you're
pretty much.
And so that's why when they do these playbooks like this fascism stuff, it's not even surprising to me. It's not surprising that Christians get involved in it and then say, "Huh, what do you mean?" And we could say they have no authority, but I'm not have you seen Girls Gone Bible and stuff? Like they're making millions of dollars off of people, millions and millions.
Wait, what?
Oh, I
Oh yeah,
didn't know that.
they have millions of subscribers and they pay to their church services to attend their church services. It's like $60 at the door.
Oh, that's gross.
People are but they were the people that when Trump was elected, they did a speech for him and stuff.
Girls Gone Bible. Ugh.
It's like YouTube stuff.
I thought a few of them were involved, not necessarily Girls Gone Bible, but I remember there was a podcast that they were on, and it was kind of a roundtable of Christian nationalist podcasters, and I think a few of them were disseminating Russian propaganda.
Yes.
Getting Russian money?
Unwittingly.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It's either
I
Elon
don't
or
know.
Russian money.
Yeah, I don't know how deep it goes. I know that Tim Pool was involved in all that, but I don't know who else might have been subject to Russian LLCs, shell corporations.
Oh, so many. It's you gotta learn. So it's weird because you don't have to learn everything about economics, but what you should do is learn where the money goes, where it comes from, and what it's doing. So when people say this thing is done for crypto or that's done for, they don't really look at much because the crypto market cap compared to the market cap in the world is low. And you have BlackRock and these companies who have trillions and trillions of dollars in assets, but those assets are held in specific places. So to get your hands on that money is not easy. So then you have all this other money. You got TikTok, internet money. You got stuff we were talking about, these countries, they have money. Like Russia has a few $1 trillion. But
Oh, for sure.
Religions.
oh, religion is bigger. I figured out that, like, was it from a documentary I was watching, that religion is like a bigger business than drugs and everything else. So like, I should say schmugs.
The
but
Mormons, yeah, Mormons especially, they've got a huge, like, savings just from, because in order to, like, participate in most of the mainstream religion stuff, you have to be tithing 10% of your income,
Yep.
like net. So they get huge amounts, and they've just been hoarding it.
I was gonna say it's those damn gold tablets. They've just been chipping away at it, just selling it periodically, getting some gold money. It's gold business in Mormonville.
But here in DC, we've got the big Mormon temple.
Uh-huh.
And there's been a running joke for decades at this point where there's a railroad bridge leading up to the LDS temple on 495, the Beltway Ring Road in DC, and they'll write "Surrender Dorothy" on it, like from the Wizard of Oz.
Oh, okay.
That thing's a castle.
Correct.
You showed us a picture
Correct.
of that before. It is massive. It holds secrets for sure.
You
Oh,
can
Mormon
get a
temple's
sort
always-
of part of it, but not all of it.
Yeah,
Oh.
you can't get into the part where they hold their Masonic rituals.
Masonic, whoa,
Maybe schmacrifices.
careful about that.
I mean, Vic has a point though. Like, it is
When you
that
say Masonic, you mean
secretive.
like canning, like mason jars?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Fruits, jams.
when I was a
Eat.
Mormon when I was younger, there were so many secrets it wasn't even funny. I mean, the more they let you in, the more they let you in the secrets too, even as a kid.
The
Not
canning
like
Mormon,
crazy
yeah?
secrets. I didn't know like crazy stuff, but like I went to temples and stuff and saw stuff and oh wait, what? Yeah, I was a Mormon when I was a kid. I've always had a knack to like be like anything I can be committed to, I'll commit to it and then like ride it out. And so
That's
I was
like
a
on my
Mormon.
finger.
I was a Mormon for a while. I even became a deacon of the Mormon church. I still have like the paper. I was going through my mom's stuff.
You're
and-
just ripe for the right cult.
Did you
Yeah.
get to keep your Pearl of Great Prize? Or
This is- Wait, what was that?
did you get to keep your Pearl of Great Prize? Or like how much was it worth?
I don't know. It's not worth that much.
But imagine being able to go down in
Oh,
the Vatican. Imagine to be able to go down in the cellars of the Vatican. Oh, what I would give just to be able to explore and not be able to read anything down there because it's probably in a totally different language. But that'd
They
be
might
the-
let Dan McClellan in.
really.
Maybe.
Oh,
I mean, they're not going to
Respect.
let they're going to want a good Catholic for sure. But I feel like they're trying to do more PR stuff. Like they've got that talking head friar who's like, doing the turn the chair around backwards. Hey kids, let's rap about Jesus Christ.
do you see the beatboxing nun?
Yes, I did see that. I mean, the moves were pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
She can beatbox. she can drop a beat.
And
It was
that's why
dope.
Jesus Christ is my homie.
Oh, that video is nuts.
Yeah.
There's an actually Brazilian beatboxing nun. It's a recent video. I'll share it.
Oh, Jen. I didn't even know Jen was still here. It's amazing. I love it.
Which video, Jen? The beatboxing nun?
Yeah.
Nice.
I think that's the one. I don't know. I guess we haven't been messaging each other that much lately. Have to go back pretty far though.
I wish you could play it, Cam. Uh,
I don't know if I can play it on here.
what? It's on YouTube.
All right. How would I?
You can do your browser and play it on YouTube,
Mhm.
and then we can listen to the live stream
Okay.
on Discord.
Yeah, I'm watching it through Discord.
That's also how we can hear people when he brings people up. We can hear it through that. Which is...
Hey guys, I'm trading my wife knowledge about her mobile game, which seems we're not going to bed yet. Is that the Demogorgon?
That's a poodle?
It says movies though.
So what I just shared.
Yeah, that could be a Demogorgon, but it looks like it's on all fours. I
Yeah.
thought the Demogorgon was walking creature.
Well,
But
They have like a
could be just
dog
in a-
version.
Wait, you
Oh,
could
you're
hear
right.
it, Jen? Wait, so if I just play it, people can hear it? Hold on. Are you serious? Oh.
That's how it works.
That's not how this works. It's not how any of this works.
Yeah.
Gente, é um show de talento.
That's hilarious.
Oh. What they're trying to do to
Preston
get
in
the younger
Utah,
crowd.
why
oh
don't we
shit! Oh
accept-
shit! Oh shit! Don't do
I mean,
that.
if they could bring back the schmannabis into the church, right? The holy oils. I feel like you get a lot of kids in there. The holy vape.
The holy vape.
Doing dabs for Deuteronomy. I mean, I the third heaven or whatever it is, where Paul, he goes to a cave and gets elevated. I feel like it's got to be.
I mean, yeah. What else would it be? They were
else
definitely
would it
using
be?
cannabis and seeing God and stuff. I mean,
Based on
Yeah.
the logic that I've heard, you can't prove it. It's impossible to not be that.
yeah.
Get them super baked, and then words just don't mean words.
Anymore.
It makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense. And Jenna's right. The dance is definitely what makes it.
It's true.
We're not doing well at getting Christians up here, though. We gotta.
Didn't Muhammad also get elevated in a cave and got some revelation?
My phone died too. Hold on.
No, you're fine. You're all good. I don't know how to get Christians in here. See, like, the thing with TikTok that's funny is when I first started doing this, I don't know if they're doing it now, they haven't told me. But I did my first few lives, and they were like, we're limiting your viewers on purpose so that
Dang.
we know.
Why?
I have no idea.
Did you get reported for something?
No, not like anything like that at all. Like, it's just what they do in general until, like, people start going hard on it. It's like,
So
Could
wait,
you maybe
viewers
collab
and
with
you get more?
could you collab with your prophetess friend? Cam, the one who follows you?
prophetess.
You know the one who has to read. It's a big friggin' book.
Oh, yeah. Wait, I'm so confused.
Just
Actually,
at her. The
Okay.
the one who also went on, Mezzo and just in a couple other people's stuff.
The prof.
Shmadasa.
oh, shiz.
yeah,
Yes.
Shmadasa.
Yeah, Hadassah. You can invite her. I can't invite her, though, on this.
I'd ask her honest questions because I don't really have a dog in that fight.
Do
I
you
just
think-
want to understand the reasoning.
She'll come in here yelling at us.
How do I get her?
I don't want it. I don't want to be yelled at. I don't need it.
I mean, you could pray and she might answer it, right? She would know. She has a direct line.
That's true.
Like legally speaking.
Who's that crunk lady used to get on Justin's live who thought that we're all gods? She
Marion
disappeared.
Marilyn, I think is her name.
Marilyn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just call her Marianne Williamson. because obvious reasons.
Yeah, yeah. I guess I shouldn't just be doxing people. But yeah, that was crazy. Like all that stuff's crazy, but these nuns make me almost want to go back to being a Christian. They show me that the Holy Spirit might be working some cool stuff.
These nuns are the crossover between Jack Black's School of Rock and Nacho Libre.
Nacho Libre.
Whoa.
You just said that.
My references
it.
all come from a very specific period of time
Uh-huh.
as an elderly individual.
The 2000s.
It was a different time.
It's true. Very different time.
Can't judge me by your modern standards of TikTok sensibility.
Uh-huh.
I'm brand new to TikTok. I rejected this thing.
Jen just keeps hitting these goals. See, what do I do this?
Jen's the best.
Jen's just gonna keep giving us money. Jen.
I've always said that Jen is Jen's been a very close friend of mine for a long time. For no particular reason. She's just so giving,
We love you, Jen.
We do.
Blew through my subscriber goals for sure.
And your music taste. Fantastic.
She does have good music taste. It's because we have the same birthday. So that's why, guys.
Does
Yeah.
Spotify still let you do collaborative
Yeah.
playlists? Could we just get an awesome background playlist?
You can, yeah.
She
It's
might
Yeah,
a
you can
even
do
great way to
collaborative.
Community.
she might even have better music taste than me. And also, maybe this is confusing, oh yeah. How was that? I am a pastor. I'm a pastor. Gosh. I am your pastor.
pastor. What was that like?
AKA maybe joyful, we don't know. I'm just kidding, of course. It's joyful.
Oh,
Don't say I said that.
how was that? Maybe we can get people from Joyfuls to leak over to ours.
It's a horror stream.
Do ask for a raid. Can you ask for raids? Is that how it works?
I
Raid
don't
me.
know.
I was there earlier, and then they stopped, and then I was gonna come back, and then I don't
Can you check
know
the
what
D
I'm
and
getting.
C and see
don't
if there's
think-
anything
I
there?
think it's just Granazana. She follows
Yeah, it's
me.
just Granazana saying hi.
That'd be cool though. If more people came over.
Cam, stand ye in Mezzo's places, for sure. For by small and simple things are great things brought to pass.
Yeah, Jen, you're a mod. You're a mod everywhere. You're a mod in more places than me, Jen. We could
What I wasn't saying viewers, I was more saying opposition. I was saying people that may miss out on his, come up to ours. Oh, just want to come up and chat with us.
I mean, they can spawn cam me. I don't know anything.
spawn cam.
I mean,
No.
I'm not a professional counter apologist, but I do ask questions for a living, so I have a lot of questions.
I'm glad you're here with us, Xana. We may not be as funny though. I don't know. Tahir was laughing, but I think it's because we're more like idiots.
She's laughing at us.
Yeah.
Also, I'm sorry about the dog barks. I cannot help him expressing himself. He is a very expressive boy. He is an old grumpy man. And
Artie, I bet you have the
Sometimes
most
just-
adorable dog.
he's a good boy. He's a very unique boy. But they're all unique. You love
Unique in, like,
dogs. I mean,
Jurassic
I'll
Park
I'll
kinda
post a
way,
picture.
or-
Can I post a picture somewhere?
Please do. Post it in Discord in our little
I can
chat.
do that. I can do that. I'll do that. I'll do that.
What kind of dog you got, Xana? What doggo?
I have a Jack Russell.
What do you... Wait.
Ooh.
Vic, you have a dog?
I do. He's actually asleep in in his little pen next to me.
Heavens.
Here, I'll pull up a picture.
Okay. Look at this. Xana, look at what you
We're
did. Now we
sharing,
got.
dog. We're sharing pics now. Cam's gonna put it on the screen.
Oh, I'm gonna put
Gonna
it on
add
the
it to the
screen.
live.
I'm gonna. Oh wait.
Yep.
Now I'm pressured to add all this stuff to the live. Oh no.
That's fine. It's fine. You can do it.
How do you do it? I don't know
I have
how to
faith in
do
you,
anything on
but
this.
not in Jesus.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Let's see.
Like that.
Do you have any barbecue sauce? Because I want to eat that dog up. He's so cute.
Should I dox this whole chat?
Oh, that's a good doggo.
Don't do that.
Don't dox the whole chat.
I mean.
Oh,
going through
wait.
tunnel now, Cam.
Is it still? An
I don't know what
actual
else to
TikTok?
do. That's what I'd have to do.
No.
Hold on, Xana. It's only Xana in here, so we're good, right?
Hold on, I'll be right back in the live. See something.
All right.
All right, bye.
But,
Already left.
I meant, I'm
Not
still
to be a
here.
Taco, but
How do I? Is it sharing the capture? Oh no, it's not. I have to hold on.
Yeah, all I see is the background up on the live.
11:46, folks. I should have been in bed almost 2 hours ago.
Oh,
Oh,
damn.
goodness.
I live in the future, so
If you have to
You
go,
do.
Herman, that's fine.
Live 1 hour in the future.
Right. So
such a
weird to
distance
me.
away. But I appreciate you having me and just letting me make weird dad jokes. Appreciate that.
Of
It's
course.
been
You're
fun.
good to chat with. Why not?
Yeah, it's too big. It's too big.
No, it's good having you up here, Herman.
Shoot. You guys. Oh gosh.
I remember
are
sharing
sharing.
Mary, so
Hold on.
families forever.
You guys see
You
it?
guys-
You just watch what Cam is doing at the moment, though. He's literally sharing.
The screen? What am I supposed to do? I guess I could have shared the image and brought the image forward. I guess there's that. I'm sorry. I should have just done that. It's okay.
You're not doxing anyone, I don't think. You're fine.
Maybe like just who's in my DM.
I feel doxxed.
I don't know. I don't know who can see what's in. I hope you can see it, Xana. Though I hope you can see at least the dog.
You should be able to
Blast.
click on the picture and it will blow up.
Oh. Oh, it's duh.
Sorry.
Don't laugh.
There you go. That's Charlie. He's a Jack Russell mix.
How do I delete this now?
I call him Dr. Jackal and Mr. Hyde.
I'm in love too. Oh, now Artie. Oh, now I have to reshare because Artie just shared. This one's a video.
Oh,
Can
and
I
it's
share?
video.
Wait, but that's on TikTok. Wait, hold on. Is that even at Hobbs?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna dox that name.
Oh, I don't care. It's not. It doesn't exist anymore. I deleted the account because I thought TikTok was going away.
Hobbs Grumble.
Uh,
Hobbs Grumble. Okay. Let's see. I can add a video. Let's try that.
Who did I bring?
Oh, it might not let me add this kind. Oh, yeah. No, I will.
such a good grumble. He's such an old man.
Oh, won't it let me freaking... It's so silly. Let's try from here. There's Artie's dog. Good night, Jen.
Good night, Jen.
Good night. Thanks for joining.
It's just him grumbling. You get him in the right spot behind the ears, or like in the ears a little bit. He just makes these like groany noises. Like he's like, "Oh, this feels so good."
My mini schnauzer would do that. She would
Oh,
be. It was like her version of purring, but it wasn't a groan. It was like a whispery hum. It was hilarious. I loved it.
I want to hear it now. Oh,
I miss her big time. I've got a couple of videos of her. She was definitely the best dog I've ever had. Probably I'd go so far as to say the best pet I've ever had. Though my cat Marty was a very close second.
Marty.
Yeah, short for Mardi Gras. His full name is Mardi Gras.
Oh, nice. I like it.
I'll bring up Sophie. Sophie loves to. She's the mini schnauzer. She loves to snuggle and nuzzle. And when I was feeling sick, she would nuzzle me.
Snuggly nuzzles.
And she would always make these little snorty sounds. It sounded like her sneezing, like a little sneeze, as her playing. She's adorable. I love her.
I might have to step away for a second.
No worries. We'll take
It also
over
might
for
be
you.
that time of the night for me. I went a little bit here.
Oh, that's no problem.
I have my day job.
Yes, it's late for Artie. I'm surprised he even does all this with me so far. It's a lot of work. I appreciate it.
Don't question. Don't question.
I won't
Just
question.
Just know that I'm here by full consent.
Yeah. No, I can't force anybody to do anything.
No. I said that weird. I'm happy to be here. I love it. I can't wait to actually be able to talk to people. I don't even really want the fiery debates and conversations like that. I really just want to chat with people and
Yeah.
kind of share different experiences and such. Like, I don't want to be preached at. I really don't care for the whole personal, weird, relationship with Jesus type stories, or you saw some shit. I think ghosts are cool to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
The unexplained's interesting, but yeah.
Oh, definitely, and we'll definitely talk about all that stuff. The thing that's crazy is that in Discord, it's actually not hard to get Christians to join, and so that's why we started doing this, because I wasn't even expecting to do any of this stuff, and then we start running those Discord chats, and everybody's like, "I want to tap the screen. I want to tap the screen. I want to be here," but I can't all the time in Discord, so we're gonna do it here. And I don't know how to get Christians here, though. You guys gotta be patient with me. I'm kind of learning as we
I don't
go
know how
along.
to use.
In Discord,
Yeah,
we
I
don't
don't know
even
how
try.
to use Smart. Well, so usually it's because you're in the politics Discord. I'm imagining.
No, I mean in the junction. When we run those chats, you've seen the voice chats. I'm serious.
Gotcha.
Even in the stage, when we run those, even on Saturday, I've had Christians come in. I've even had to kick one out because he wouldn't stop preaching in the chat. I had to ban him from the server.
Please come up.
Of course. Although I have to step away for a second, but I will I will be right back. It won't take me too long. You can come
And
up
Pink
for
and
sure.
Blue Shark, thank you for sharing the live. We mucho appreciato. That's not the proper language.
I think Vic will be able to hear you. Because right now, Vic can't request up, so.
No, I'm using my computer.
Here, hold on, sorry. I'm getting it.
Willow is in the house. Willow's in the house.
Hey, Xana.
Hey, hey, how are you guys?
Good. How
Uh,
are you?
Hi.
Uh-oh.
I have a question I'm wondering if you guys can help me with. But it's
Maybe
kind
I
of
can do it
sad. Is that
simultaneously
okay?
with live.
What's
Hello?
up? Yeah, what's your
Oh,
question?
okay, sorry.
You're good.
I have a friend that I met through church, and she's in the hospital right now, and they don't know if she's going to make it or not. And the problem that I'm having with myself is I keep going, and people from the church maybe will show up. Not a lot of people, but when, like sometimes the same person more than once. And they keep like praying, wanting me to pray with her. And I can't say no. And I'm feeling really guilty about it because I really don't believe in what I'm doing now. But I can't just be like, sorry, you person who is dying and believes in God and has hope in that. I'm sorry, I can't pray with you because I don't believe in God. Like I just can't do that. And so I'm really conflicted. So I
I'm
just wondering
sorry
if you
for
have
that.
any suggestions. Oh, that's okay.
I'm so sorry. Um, actually, so I have to go grab groceries here in a second, and hopefully
Oh,
my
no
girlfriend's
problem.
not gonna be mad at me. But I do actually have something, and I'll say a little bit, and then when I come back, I'll say some more. So I just lost somebody close to me, and I was in the hospital a lot, like um going through the same thing. A lot of my family is religious, they're Christian, and so like they're trying to
Hmm.
praise Jesus and all this stuff and pray all this stuff. And for the most part I stayed out of it. I try to respect their wishes, but at some point you also have to stick up for yourself, and like they have to respect you. And so it should be a balanced thing. And like it's just because they think they have authority everywhere, so they think they can just trample and come in and say
Well,
whatever
it's
they
not
want and do
that.
whatever
It's
they
they
want.
still think that I'm a believer because we haven't had a chance
Oh,
to talk about it. And I'm not going to talk because I'm fairly recently where I'm like, okay, I don't even want to go to church anymore, kind of thing.
yeah.
I kind of deconstructed quickly because I didn't realize I have been deconstructing for years. So once I started to deconstruct, it took like 6 months, and I was like, okay, done. Like, so it was long and it was short, if that makes sense. So. But I just don't feel the hospital room is the time to talk about it.
No, definitely not. I think it's
That
it's
makes a lot
something
more
where
sense.
you do have to kind of play into it to a degree. You don't have to like fully play into it to where you're obviously going through the prayers and doing everything that one would think would be proper to do as a religious person in that situation. But you also, you know, do kind of just remove yourself from that situation at times and, not make it obvious or clear that it's something obviously related to the religious aspect of it, but it's more just a respect thing when it comes
Right.
down to it in the end. And I think being the bigger person and showing that respect may be more powerful in the current situation.
Okay.
I think that's important, but
That makes sense.
it's also tough because I feel you too. I had a very similar situation when my grandfather passed away, and I just kind of had to sit through it and
Yeah.
bide my tongue and just understand that the person that's dying or unaliving the situation. Damn TikTok rules. Sorry, I love you
Yeah.
TikTok, but I don't. uh,
Mhm.
it it's it's their kind of wishes too. Like even though
Right.
they're maybe not in a position to be able to truly make that call, it's what did they believe and you know
Well, they are the only person that knows I'm deconstructing. So
sorry if I
I
missed
think
that
when
part for
they see
sure.
me praying with people, they're just very honored by it.
Yeah, that means a lot, and I
You know.
I think that's big for them to like think about going on into the what we believe to be a non-existence, right? There's nothing truly there, and that's not a bad thing. It just gives us more reason to truly care for what we have now, and that's ultimately what I
Right.
think anyone's who's passing away truly just wants is just us to live on and be happy and do what we ultimately want to do in our lives, but also be good people, because that is as I as much as I do not like religion, it's it has that like somewhat positive aspect to like care for people in some regard. And if that can bleed into just being a good person in our society and being empathetic, really truly believing that empathy is something that drives our world,
And
then
part of it is the church is a progressive church, so it's all LGBTQIA affirming, and
it's
it's
so interesting to me how that's like possible, but
yeah,
it's kind of heartwarming. That's it's still very interesting. I'm sorry to interrupt.
right. But it's different because these aren't people who are sitting there trying to like turn me, make sure I'm going to stay a Christian and convert me or anything. If they knew I was deconstructing, they would just be like, well, if you have questions, let me know. That would be it. There wouldn't be any like, you cannot do that. You will go to hell. It wouldn't be anything like that. So it's just been hard. I mean, it's hard because she's only 39.
That's so sad. I'm so sorry you're going through this.
And I just want her to be healthy, and she never will be. She has a degenerative, what do you call it? A degenerative condition where literally her body's just attacking itself, and has been since she was like in junior high.
Yeah, that's definitely rough, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for my
So-
misunderstanding.
Oh no, that's perfectly fine. I didn't explain it, so
Yeah, if people
no, it was a
definitely,
good thing to hear too, just in case it happens with anyone else.
yeah, definitely people still believe you're a believer, then it's different. But I think that's the crazy part is like, it's hard to even talk about this stuff with people.
Right.
And it's supposedly on us, but really like it's not. Like it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Like we're just trying to live our lives and get through it and figure it out and seek truth the best we can. And
The funniest was because I'm still in that where you auto pray mode. I'm still in the auto pray mode if you've ever been in that mode. So I'm sitting there holding hands with the people, and I'm just like, dear God, please help them to understand I don't believe in you any more. Like, am I what I'm saying?
It's a
Like,
weird
that
time to
doesn't
think
make any
about
sense.
that, but it's such a perfect time to think about that at the same time. It's like, I know you're truly not there going to do anything, but these people believe it, and I'm gonna
Right.
play around.
Basically, it was so funny. It was something like that. I mean, it wasn't those exact words I said, but basically it was what you said. And I'm like laughing so hard. I'm like, I'm praying to a God I don't think exists, that the fact that I don't think exists is okay. Like, this makes no sense.
Zero. And
exactly.
it's so, man, you still, as you mentioned, like the church that you belong to doesn't seem like it's like trying to have a grapple hold on you, but
No,
though,
not at all.
like now, kind of as you deconstructed, it's like I bet you could actually kind of look back, maybe a little bit, and see parts in which they were trying to like, obviously point. They're always trying to point you in that direction. It's like they're never gonna literally let you like explore everything.
No,
right?
you don't have to even be a Christian to go there. You can just
Really?
be
So it's just
searching,
non-denominational.
and you can just be with a, no, it's not. It's a Lutheran, one of the
Oh.
Lutheran denominations, and a non-denominational together. It's really weird. Like
Weird.
the two meet at the same church, have the same pastor and everything, but they it's really weird. They're trying to join together, but right now they're actually two separate churches that meet together as one church. So it's really strange.
I'm trying to wrap my head
But-
around it. I'm trying to picture.
Basically what it is there not enough people to keep a progressive church alive, even in the Seattle area. So these two churches came together, but since one was a Lutheran church and already had all that, the other church didn't feel comfortable yet joining a denomination. So they just said, well, we'll just meet and we'll have two different churches and we'll just call it the gathering and we'll just, have these two different churches be a part of the gathering. Well, now they're finding it just doesn't work. So they might go to the Lutheran one, and it's the type of Lutheran where you pretty much can do what you want. You just have people above you for more for what's the word? To make sure, if something was going wrong in the church, I'd have people I could call and say, hey, you need to investigate this. It's more how they look at the leadership. So it's interesting.
I would love to know a little bit about the squabbles that they're having, like what actual religious squabbles, or is it more probably like a political type sense squabble?
Actually, I've talked to them about it, and there aren't a lot of squabbles. That's the weird part.
Huh.
There are more decision making than squabbles. Like, what do we think is the best decision? And then people will say what they think the best decision should be, and then they vote on it and make a decision. But there aren't like people yelling at each other. There aren't like people getting mad. They're just like, oh, okay, that's the decision you're going to make. And they just, it's like a healthy relationship instead of an unhealthy one. It's really weird.
Yeah.
But the building is gorgeous, which is funny because I'm used to meeting in churches and stuff. So this gorgeous building is like, whoa, kind of cool.
Oh, there's some I lived in Texas for a bit of my life, and there are some massive, there's some churches down there, way too big for their own good. I'll be quite honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are massive and beautiful. I'll give them some credit there.
Yeah.
Some really nice
This
buildings.
this one's not huge, but it's gorgeous. At least the where the service is held is gorgeous. The rest is just a building. But the building is only, I think, or the main building where the service is held with all the stained glass and stuff, that's like 80 years old, and the rest of the building is fairly new. So it was a tiny church that they turned into and that they then expanded to have like Sunday school rooms and stuff like that. But it was already done before the churches joined together. So that was all done. And if you want to rent out the church, it's $500.
Oh, damn.
Which is like
500
free.
doll hairs? That's wild.
Free. That's like free here. So you can go and have a wedding, and they even have a fairly big room downstairs where that you can put tables and stuff. No rental of chairs and tables needed. You get to use the chairs and tables that are there for $500.
Okay.
Huh.
And if you're a church member, they usually just let you have it free.
Mm-hmm.
Unless there's like
yeah.
a fee, unless you have to pay someone to clean or something, then you just pay that,
Or if you don't donate enough, if I'm right,
Well, no, if you're already paying, that's what they figure. If you're already giving to the church, you shouldn't have to pay, so you can just have it for free.
Do they track
They
it?
don't even look
Do
to
they
how much
actually
you pay.
like?
They don't look at how much you give. They just say, "Oh, okay, you're a member. You can use it."
Oh, that's pretty cool. I'll give them that.
Are you?
If they look at how much you.
Anna?
Pardon?
Oh, okay. Can you hear me? I wasn't sure.
I didn't hear you at first, but now I do.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, we were trying to figure that out. I didn't want to interrupt anyone there because I was listening from a delay, but it looks like this is real time now. So, hi.
Oh, good.
Yeah, just so nobody's confused, I have Vic and Artie both on Discord, so that's where you guys are hearing them from. Because Vic can't
okay.
request up right now for some reason. We're having
Bummer.
some technical difficulties we have to work around.
That's okay. Everybody does.
And I live in both worlds. I'm on my computer now, and I was on my phone. I'm everywhere.
Sorry. Was
No,
that
you're
evil
fine.
enough laugh?
Oh, I love it. Oh, you could even go a little more. I thought you could add a little more.
Okay, I
spice
can
to
do
it.
more.
Yes.
Is that better?
Yes.
I love it too. And hi, Pistachio. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. And God just hates us. You're right. He hates us.
Pistachio.
He
She
made-
was
he made
so
this
funny.
planet.
Oh my gosh, you guys! Pistachio was cracking me up to no end. On I am
Cracking.
what is it?
I am his
I am God's
pastor.
pastor. Or I am his pastor.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I had tears running down my eyes. Oh, she
What-
was the
what
one who
is that?
pointed out that because we were going all like we were anti-LGBT or whatever. And so she's the one who pointed out, you do realize you have the flag behind you. Like she's talking about it. Like that flag behind you is the pride flag. That's what that means. And we're pretending like we don't know what she's talking about.
Mhm.
The way she
Well,
said
what
it
is I am a
was
pastor?
so
I am
perfect.
your pastor. What is it?
It's
Is
a
that was
spoof
it just a
account.
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah, so you go on and then what does he go by? Oh, come on, what's his name? Why can't I think of what he goes by on the he says he's the not apostate. He says what is it? Pistachio, what is it that he calls himself? His real
I think Pistachio may have left us.
Epistate.
bummer.
Unfortunately. I forget what
No.
he named.
But it's
But he acts
why can't
like
I think of his
pastor,
name
actually.
right now?
Yeah.
So just
Oh,
a fake
come on.
pastor.
Yeah, like he.
That's what I'm trying to
like
remember. What's his name, guys? Come on. Someone said it earlier. I can't remember it. Apostate.
it?
What's his name? Why can't I think of it?
Joyful
Are you
apostate.
talking about joyful?
Joyful
Joyful?
apostate.
Joyful.
Isn't it him?
Yeah. Yeah, it's joyful.
I'm terrible with names. Yeah, it's
Oh,
joyful.
Joyful does this. So he
And,
does this on this on his lives.
No, he has a whole different account, and he does this horrible accent, and he pretends to be this older pastor who and if you say if a kid comes on and they have to go off, he's like, oh, I can't talk to kids because I'll go to jail. Can't talk to anyone over 18 online because I'll go to jail. Or under 18 online.
shit.
Rather. It's so funny.
Oh,
Worth
that's funny.
following for sure. He doesn't get a lot of people in. It's just for fun,
Yeah. I'll share his.
But I
stuff.
gotta pretend like I knew him today and talk about how I was talking about how God how I think I said they told me I had the ADHD, and then so I stopped seeing my psychiatrist and I stopped taking the medication. Things have gotten really hard, but it's okay. Jesus is with me. And he was like, that's right. That's that's of the devil. And he just go on. It's so funny.
Damn doctors just prescribing those damn devil pills.
Exactly.
They're
So
devil.
funny. Yes. Oh, it's always Satan. It's always Satan. Everything is Satan's fault.
Yep.
Or a demon.
Crystal and Joel also go on there.
Yes. Oh, that's on there. I've heard Crystal.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
I would love to
Joel.
get up on there. I'm definitely gonna follow him. Try to get up there. Fun.
Oh yeah, you've got to. It's so funny.
It's the best. It's
And he
the
does
I
not
funniest.
believe
sound like
saying
himself.
he ate Jesus. He ate him.
Mhm.
That's what I believe. He full on devoured him. He barbecued him. Ate him. He came back.
Oh.
So dumb.
And then what did he say today that I almost died? He said something about when Jesus was on the cross that God was that Jesus couldn't talk because God was inside of him.
Mhm.
I miss you right now.
Oh my god. Just terrible. And amazing and wonderful at the same time.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
he
we
kept
should do
saying
some-
about there were something about three something two things being something and then three things being were being pounded into him, so it's like everything was a reference, a double entendre, I guess you could say. It was so funny. Being pounded 3 times, he was like that. Oh, so funny.
We all know that feeling. So, what were you gonna say? What were you gonna say, Artie? What should we do?
Oh, I was gonna say we should do like spoofy shit. It'd be funny.
Yes.
Uh,
Oh, we will.
I'll think of something.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you do have a frog looking like Jesus. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's
We're
beautiful
gonna run
too.
it.
It's funny part. Whoever the artist is amazing.
I have to agree with you. The artist is definitely amazing. Think about
Really?
this. Yeah, like when I do the lives on TikTok on my phone, I can like set up AI generated content and like the filters and stuff for that easily so that people know. But I'm on TikTok Studio on the desktop right now, and I don't know how to. I don't know. It's so confusing. I feel. I wish it was all the same.
Yeah, stuff's weird. But yeah, ChatGPT. The prompt that I put in was full frog Jesus, and that's what it gave me.
Wow, it's beautiful. The artist is
I know,
amazing.
right? We have a dinosaur one too that's also beautiful. I think we'll run a dinosaur prompt at some point.
Oh,
You know, dinosaurs
That's
had
awesome.
cancer. Is that wild?
Isn't that crazy? I just learned
that
that a
crazy?
couple weeks ago. I was like,
Damn
what?
dinosaur bones got cancer on them. 11 goddamn mutated. Got cancer. God did it. That's crazy. Why God don't like dinosaurs?
And have you heard the argument that's because it used to be that even in the Bible that the dinosaurs were there first and then man came after the dinosaurs, right? Even in the Bible, but now they're saying, well, how could that be if only man has cancer? Like if only man was condemned, then how was there cancer in dinosaurs?
Yeah, it makes zero sense. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they have to say that dinosaurs came after man.
Either that or other animals were also condemned,
True.
even though animals
But-
have never sinned.
Where does that in the Bible? Where is it? Where is it?
Neither is in the Bible.
Nowhere.
That's the problem.
See, after losing somebody close to me recently in March, I kind of think that a lot of this stuff is copium, and that's why like people come up with these ideas. And we're also talking about how it's like used to oppress people. I think those are like the two main reasons. There's not really a God watching over anybody, because if there was, like, even if he was using suffering for like his purposes, some suffering just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't
Right.
doesn't
Like children,
comprehend. Yeah.
babies, just makes zero sense. They haven't done anything. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, and then like some of the verses in the Bible I could never reconcile as a Christian. I couldn't get answers for, so it's like I can't believe that specific thing, even though a lot of crazy stuff has happened in my life, and maybe there is a God, or maybe it points to something, but I don't know what that thing is. It's not a book, that's for sure.
yeah. And to me, even if there was was ever a creator, that doesn't mean that just because something's powerful doesn't make it good or honest or loving or anything like that. It just makes it powerful.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Once you get past the all good, all knowing, like this all powerful being that potentially, or what they believe, created the universe, it just falls apart at that point. And it doesn't really make sense to believe it, because what does it honestly do for your life in the end? Like, if you can deconstruct from the religion aspect of it, whether it's obviously Christianity, being Judaism, Islam, like whatever it may be, the Abrahamic religions disappear. You have now just a belief in something that's created the universe and is the creator of all morals, and like,
Well, like,
I mean, maybe that's what
for
they're
example,
getting from it, but
Judaism.
then they fall onto the Bible at that point. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, a lot of the sects of Judaism don't believe that the Bible is literal. So it's more that they just believe that there is a God, and then they believe in community, and that all these stories and stuff have something to teach us about community and about the world and about other people and stuff. And then your job is to go and see what does that teach us. But they definitely don't believe in a all good, all caring, all omniscient. They don't believe in the omnis.
Mm.
So it's very different. I'm not saying that there aren't some
True.
that do, but I'm saying most of them do not. So it's very different because it's more about community than it is about just how I'm going to follow this God. It's more how am I going to make the world a better place? How am I going to make my community a better place? How am I going to? That's their goal. So that's why, like, if something happens in the Jewish community, they tend to have people around them who help them because that's their goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. You're definitely right. It's a much different religion compared to the other big two.
Yeah, and I'm
have
not saying
the-
there aren't problems. I'm just saying that that's not one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely
Very
still
true.
problems in I can't say that word. Ostracization. Oh my god.
There you go. You got it.
Yeah, there's just like they ostracize a lot of people in their communities.
Mhm.
But they can be like I've met like really cool Jewish people.
Mhm.
I've met really cool Christians. It's just when you get into their theology, especially Christians, it can get wonky depending on who you're talking to because everybody's different too. So like you want everybody to interpret everything the same way, but unfortunately, that's not how it goes. Because
Well,
like it's like
with
books
Christians,
and-
any Christian who can't admit that the Bible can be interpreted many different ways and they all could be true is just messed up.
yeah.
Because what's going to happen, and which happened to my parents, is at one point they're going to be with one church who believes this one thing, and then a couple years later they're going to be with another church that believes another thing because it fits with their modern day, the way they think of the world, and morality and stuff like that. And so now, I mean, they were really right wing when I was young, and now they're just like crazy, just like Trump crazy. And you're just like, whoa, you were already pretty far, about as far right as you can go. I didn't know you could go that much more. And their church just kind of went along with it, So weird.
Yeah, I just can't. I can't grasp it. Like, how these devoutly religious people can see any good in that human being. Like,
No,
I don't
or think he's
understand.
a Christian.
Yeah, I think he's any bit religious in any
Right.
regard. Like that's what I saw. I watched a clip of him like when someone had asked him about what his like favorite verse in the Bible is, and he was like, I love them all, or something like to that
Right.
sort. So I'm like, fuck you, dude.
And then
You're
someone
the
later on just
fucking
said,
worst.
"Can you name any verse in the Bible?" Oh, I love all of
Yeah.
them. Can you name any books of the Bible? Oh, I love all of them.
It's insane. It
It wasn't the question.
it's a big
I have to
reason. It
question.
was a big part of my
He's good at
deconstruction.
dodging.
Yeah. He's like really good at dodging.
Yes, he's very good.
He
Yeah.
might as well be fucking Keanu Reeves in The Matrix, for Pete's sake.
And when my
There's a bunch of
cousin
lawsuits flying past him, not bullets. It's like, don't hit me, don't hit me, you can't hit me.
when my cousin told me that he voted for him even though he doesn't believe in Trump. He doesn't believe in all that, but like he still like votes for
Doesn't
all
believe
this
he
stuff.
resurrected.
Yeah.
Jeepers.
It's all like
How?
he it's because he's a Christian, so he believes that it's like part of God's plan to have Trump as president. So like they delude themselves in
Yep.
different ways. It's not always that
And-
they even like Trump. It's sometimes that he's just necessary to get the job done.
And there's nothing in the Bible that says we should vote for Trump. Well, zip, zero, nada.
No, not a thing. It's a way they hide, I think. I think if you've seen some of like Mezzo's lives or his clips even,
Mhm.
and some of his clips he'll have like a guest on who, or even on Joel's live sometimes, they'll have a guest on who's acting nice and kind and then flips the scripts. And that's what I think a lot of Christians are. It's a mask, you know. They put on this mask,
Mhm.
but deep down they still haven't dealt with their trauma. They still haven't dealt with their stuff, and they don't know how to work
definitely my parents for sure. I mean, my dad
Well, they live in
was
trauma.
what they.
Like,
Have you ever heard of a
Yeah,
dry
sure.
drunk? I don't know what they call it nowadays,
through.
but that's where you stop drinking, but you still have all the problems that alcoholism brought to your life, and you don't deal with those. So you act as if you are a drunk, even though you're not drinking anymore.
interesting.
That's what my dad
So
was.
just, I guess it depends
Lots
on
of
the
anger
drunk, but like
issues.
sporadic anger, yeah.
Hmm. And things like that, and just you're not listening and not respecting people, all the stuff that people do when they're drunk. But you just do that. But he could hide it so well outside the house. He was such a nice person and so kind to everyone and all this stuff when he wasn't at home.
But just snaps.
Just like a lot of
Oh,
alcoholics.
scary.
That is really scary.
Hmm.
Yeah. But I think we're about to wrap up on this live because we've been doing this
sorry.
for about
I
2
made you
hours.
stay longer, I feel.
No,
we
no.
love this is who we want to talk to people. Like, we obviously have like a kind of a prompt up that would you would think someone from that side would want to come up and talk about, but we really want to just talk to everybody.
Yeah.
Comes down to it. Friendlies, opposite, interlocutors.
Yeah, we want this to be
Say that word.
we want this to be a decompression space. So like really, it's a lot like the Discord. If you're in the Discord, Xana, I don't know if you're in the Junction, but if you're not, you should join. The link to the Discord is in my bio on TikTok.
I think I'm in that one now, but there's so much in it, I don't know where to go.
Yeah, so
All the way to the bottom.
all the way to the bottom.
All the way to the bottom. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
don't listen to him. So actually, the main place that we hang out in voice chat is at the top.
Okay.
There's a just hanging out voice channel, and we go in there and we chat. It's a
Cool.
lot. It's a lot like this. We'll just chat, and then sometimes, like, naturally, like, it's kind of weird. Christians come up and they find their way in there. I swear, we have some of the most interesting conversations already in there, even just with Christians. That's why I started doing this. Yeah.
Wait, how do you get
I
to
want
it
to
from
see
the
your
top?
dinosaur sometime, so I'll have to keep coming.
Is it at the bottom for you? For me, it's at the top. Heck yeah, you
Yeah,
got to
I
see
have
the
it
Dino Jesus. Heck yeah.
Yeah, I have a jackalope. We have Animorph, Frog Jesus, which is a fun one. Yeah, I have Hippo Jesus, but I found out that that's kind of just like Spanky. Yes, I don't know if you're.
Yeah.
That's another
like
creator's like Doug. I know the hippo. Actually, the Hippo Jesus is really pretty. It's nice.
That's my favorite. One of my favorite songs is the hippopotamus song. I want a hippopotamus for Christmas.
Hippopotamus Jesus.
One of my favorite songs.
We're gonna get copyright struck. No. They're listening. I got platypus Jesus. I forgot about this
Nice.
one. Holy shit. Oh,
That is
Oh.
awesome.
Platypus
the
Jesus
dolphin
is really
one
good.
is wild.
You have koala Jesus.
Oh, dolphin. The cool. Writing this down. Koala Jesus. Full koala Jesus.
World Jesus, but it needs to be running.
Wait, what'd you say?
Squirrel.
What Jesus? Squirrel Jesus? Yes.
Yes.
And nuts in his mouth.
That's perfect. And a
Shit.
meerkat. Meerkats are cool.
Meerkats are dope. Timon as Jesus, Pumbaa as
Well, there goes my dog now.
Judas. That'd be fun.
Pepper. Pepper, come here. We have coyotes, so when she sees one, she freaks out, or she thinks
Oh,
one's
I
there.
bet. See,
Okay,
that's
this one's not too
legitimate.
bad, so. Yeah, it's legit.
That's
But the other
legitimate.
night I had to just hold her because she was barking so loud. She was going to wake up the neighbors. It's like midnight. And she saw a
Oh no.
coyote and she went nuts. She had to go to
See,
the
my
bathroom.
dog barks
so I
at
took her out.
cars parked outside. Like Uber, like Eats deliveries, just chilling there. They're really not moving.
Yeah.
He just barks at them. I'm like, why? Why, dude?
Ooh,
He's a
do
weird
they
little
have
guard dog.
anything from Lord of the Rings, like a Hobbit Jesus or an Ent Jesus or
Gollum Jesus.
or a Orc Jesus?
So I don't
Oh
know.
my god.
I don't know if I'll be copied. I'm
Probably.
I have Timon Jesus pretty much done.
Oh,
Dude.
that is cool.
Oh, but
That
there's
is
so many we
cool.
could do, and I can't like that. I think this should be like one of our main themes. We're still kind of like going through
Yeah,
the,
you got to pick
the
something that
motions.
no one else is doing, you know. But you have different
And this is
animals and stuff of different Jesuses that you show. It'd
this
be a
is
great
unique,
one.
and I like it. Yeah. We'll talk more about it, Cam, but I think this is a
Oh,
gold
plus,
mine.
Yeah, you got to have
Looking to
something
be
that lets people know they're in the right place when they come, you know.
And we're gonna do like multiple prompts too. We're gonna like jazz up the text and make that better. I'm gonna work on that
I
tomorrow.
kind of like the text because I could freaking read it. Oh, that is so cute! Oh my gosh, that is the cutest
Oh
thing
shit! Oh my! Disney's gonna.
you're gonna have a fit.
He's high as shit. He's high as fuck.
So cute.
That's what my
Oh my
driver's
gosh, I
license
wanna-
photo looks like.
What was that? I missed that.
She said that's what her driver's license photo looks like.
You have the most beautiful driver's license photo ever. Then I love it.
They even put the
Why
marks.
you're wearing your crown
Oh
of
my
thorns,
God,
I
I'm
don't
dying.
know, but
They put the marks in Timon's hands too.
Yes.
that's so funny. That was the cutest thing ever.
You heard it here, folks. You can only come here if you're gonna enjoy our AI Jesus animals.
I love it. Love it. Love it.
All right. Well, I think we're done for tonight, but you got to join us more, Grana, for sure.
Please.
Definitely. I always miss when things are, but if someday I'll try and catch it.
I think Wednesday is the day we're gonna go again. I think.
Well, I always do hump day, dump day. So
Oh, yeah, there's Joel's.
Ooh, that's right.
Yes.
right.
That's right.
So
Maybe we'll
that's
add
my
tomorrow
big
night.
one. Is I always try and catch hump day, dump day.
Maybe tomorrow night. Maybe tomorrow night then. And then
Okay.
maybe on Friday. We
Okay,
don't
I'll
have a
see if I
solid
can
schedule.
find it.
We don't have a
Of course
solid
not.
schedule yet,
Not
but
yet.
soon.
Cool. Well, thanks for talking to me.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for
I
joining.
feel a lot better now.
Good.
Oh, I love that. Thank you, Zana. Appreciate you.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Appreciate all of you. Oh, thank you. Appreciate all
Alright.
of you.
Appreciate
Alright,
you.
see you later.
Appreciate all y'all. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye. Everybody have a good night.